Good morning and welcome to the Be the Light meditation that we do every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Why do I do these meditations? They're called Be the Light. And for years, I have watched and hoped that there would be new information coming through science, through intuitives, through businesses, that things could begin to change and have hope that we could become inspired and learn some of the tools available to us that are ancient and now recently proven that our intentional consciousness is a vibration. And if you hook up with source, you go up that ladder, you go into a higher vibrational realm. Your thoughts become powerful. They're almost like magic wands that can rearrange things, assist and support healing processes. So we're learning tools here so that we can be part of the solution. And the solution is actually, there's a name for it, evolution. We can do it with or without a revolution. And sometimes I think that that's, rumbling in different parts. But this is an evolutionary time for mankind where he's going from a limited sense of himself as a being with five senses, authoritarian social systems where we're educated and told what to do to stay safe and be successful. And now we're beginning to see that this house of safety is a house of cards. The powers that be are usually invested in getting reelected or making money for the people that support them. So we're beginning to question everything, which is how evolutionary change occurs. Is this a life-sustaining, humane, benevolent trajectory for humankind? And I think we're looking around saying, oh, much of it isn't. So we need evolutionary, yes, amen to that. There's a little bell I always see where the bells or twinkles come in because often it's just funny. This is an evolutionary time. So that means that you are an evolutionary being. If you're listening to this today or listening later, it goes out to many different countries. You have a stake from the minute you were born of imagining something better and wondering, how can we get there? So we have held this imagining and this hoping that we will have this evolution. And now we're beginning to realize the evolution is through us. It's through us changing our limited thinking, our circumscribed thinking as compliant beings of a system that certainly doesn't reach the bar of the standards that we've always known and seen and felt, because you were born. You were planted here to be an evolutionary tool to re-vibrate all that is within the realm of the earth through your own gifts and insight and subsequent expansion and expansion of your toolkits. And so Wednesday morning, we polish our toolkits over and over. We use Windex to see better. We use Windex to clear that facetry of this message, a chandelier of source that brings through absolute truth and guidance. We're learning how to circumvent the problem and become evolutionary beings. Think clearer, see more clearly, clarify truth, and then speak truth. So We have to do a lot of overcoming fear processes. But the fun part is once you, there's that song, I Can See Clearly Now. And it's hilarious because when I was 19, I sang in Las Vegas in a little Las Vegas sideshow, red fringe, mirrors, and everything. And that was our big song. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. And now I totally get what that means to see clearly, because the rain is the mistruth. It's the betrayer, it's the predatory, manipulative forces of the media, even our own family. I was talking to a friend from high school yesterday, and this person just said that the parents had put a veil there of fear in front of her whole life. So it's taking us decades and decades and decades, and we're wiser, we're clearer, and we're freer. So today's talk is about how to be an evolutionary being and to stay full of confidence, some measure of joy, and to see our unique path to move towards inputizing or activating or imploding the old and bringing light of potential and new activities in a way that you feel safe. So you're looking at mine right now. Here it is, the Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour. And this just didn't come in one thought. Our puzzle pieces come to us in ways that we can handle it. If someone said 5 years ago, you're going to be going out by yourself in a little red wagon, you're going to call the Queen's Caravan, I'd go, nuts. And I know that some people look at this or see what I'm doing going, nuts. At her age, she's alone. Well, everything's fear-based. Why? It hasn't been done before. The minute I started talking about this, at least 8 women said, I want to do exactly what you're doing, and I'll meet you up on the road. I'll meet up with you on the road. So you are reinventing new pathways to potentize the vibration that you're bringing in the way that is meant for you. You don't see any other Queen's Caravan out there and having little red wagons made and going out to release fear out of voices. So when there is a will, there is a way. Because when we make choices within that still point, without our ego there, judgment, monitoring, and fear, the ideas that come through have what? The will of God, the will of the resources, the will of source, the sourcing of all that is. So if you are an evolutionary being and something excites you and gives you passion, don't listen to other people. Let the resources and the juice of the interrealms, and we don't know how it works. I don't know why this wagon maker came out of retirement last November, right about the time when this 20-year dream of having a wagon and then suddenly crystallizing I'd have a red wagon, and then not feeling well and needing to go out in drier places. And my partner said, well, maybe you should live somewhere else for a little while and see how it feels. Everything transpired. Everything is always transpiring for you. And are you listening and allowing? You are driving. You are driving the horses, the horsepower of your life. You hold the reins. And so we learn to go into our heart, into that still point, and see what is our highest, best, clearest path. And once we see it and feel it, and we know it's true, we receive these blessings. It's like a prayer. I wanted a red wagon. That prayer went out. I manifested the money and everything. And I just knew it was right. And I'm going to pick it up in Maine in a few weeks, by the way, and then the real adventure starts. But think about how this applies to you. Are you going into that 0 point? Have you said, I am an evolutionary being? What is my puzzle piece? Feel it and let it just begin to morph and come in. And then you see it clearly now. There's that song, I can see clearly now. You will know what is yours. And other people's vibrational fields will begin to morph and to readjust to your new strong eminence. It's an illuminating force. It's a force of nature. It's a force of divinity, divine nature. And think of how much more powerful that is. So everything starts conspiring for you. And this week, this fell into my lap. May queendom come. Let the queendom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Queendom, that's me. Queen's Caravan. It's always been about the kingdom, the father, the male. And now we've been missing what was part of the conversation. Not the princess damsel in distress that the men can save and control. No, the queen in her knowing. The queen who's talking to God and knows her worth, her self-respect, her self-love. And she says, let the queendom come. Thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Do you see the beauty of that? We are reorchestrating things to find our place at the table. So you are an evolutionary being, evolving faster than ever, letting these wonderful synchronicities. This last week, every time I hit a wall and said, oh, this is hard, this is too complex, this is what I did. I pulled back. Usually I had chocolate. I had a lot of chocolate this week. Gets my brain back in a happy space with the neurochemicals. But I would breathe and I would say, what are my options here? I would say, where are the loopholes? Where are the ways that I can't be controlled by the old? What are the new pictures and new options? And I never let the netting of complacency, stuckness, or feeling like I couldn't win. I creatively danced around all the particles and in some ways had to win and find my place and to do my work in a fear-based dissolving system so that I was safe, it was legal, blah, blah, blah. So we will be hitting roadblocks all the time as evolutionary beings where things appear to not be working in our favor, but we have the will of God to break apart our thinking as that's a limitation and to see the light, to see clearly that this loophole, this woman called me this week, she says, you must have an angel looking over your shoulder because this project you're doing, you could run into this and this and this. And she said, I'm going to give you the back door to go in and do this effectively and legally. Ta-da! Why? Because I've exerted my will of what I want with the right intentionality, good for all and harm to none. So let's drop in now. Let's take a nice deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. We're going to go through the Be the Light meditation procedure to go deeper into our unconscious and psyche to create this ability to move into unstuckness all the time when we need to. So just breathe into it, and you know what I'm talking about because even recently you've encountered things where you say, doesn't seem to be working, and I've been doing everything I can. Bring those up. Bring those items up because they're a vibration. They're a vibration of how things used to be and don't have to be. And we will release the stickiness of holding those vibrational conundrums together. Nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place a beautiful geometric balanced structure around our body. It's an octahedron. We do that because everything is precisely orchestrated in the universe in mathematical geometric shapes. Vibration. So feel that you are solidly, safely, perfectly held within your own little Merkaba, space, tent, whatever word you choose to use. And just feel that this essentially truly is the only thing that you are responsible for. That's the good news and the bad news. Responsibility to respond, to have the ability to respond with higher thinking, more creative, out of the box thinking, inspired by new potentialities. So in this space, the first thing we'll do is remove everyone else's thoughts about you, which we tend to absorb. We release everyone else's humanly bound pictures, thoughts, assumptions, and judgments of us now. Just let it all go, all the courting, all the agendas. And now imagine that all the constructs and pictures that you have about yourself, who you are, what you can do, where you're going, how successful you'll be, how much money you'll have, all of that, you're letting it go. And you just see it's like chain links. Once you let one chain link go, the whole thing loses, and just let it go. And in this sacred space, you can try this on. You can go back to the chains that bind you later, but try it on. Being free, unfettered, unchoked, uncorseted. Be free in this moment. And take a deep breath and notice there's even more room in your body to breathe. But our minds, our busy minds, sometimes simultaneously hold 1,000 thoughts that we're bouncing off of neurologically, especially with media and phones and information. Thought, that, picture, that. Let it go. And replace it with this simple picture of nature. Because nature is the truth in its simplicity. Take a deep breath and let the wind, the sun, the sand, whatever you're picturing, let it help your biofield, which is of nature, merge with that field of correct harmonic alignment. With the biorhythms, the pulses of life are all coherent and life-giving and calm. So let's just stay in this moment here for a bit. Breathing in the balance, the polarity of all that is, the teeter-totter at the 0 point. The point of all potentialities. And all is simply under your guidance for your experience. And your inner seeing, your inner eye within your heart now can very clearly see the old human ways of deciding, discerning, evaluating, prioritizing, and see it for its limitation. See that its efficacy in bringing you all that you need to be an evolutionary being kind of just flattens out around 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. So rather than stay in the mentation, the mentality, the sameness, the conformity, imagine that your soul is choosing to experience the realm of 600, say, we're using scales for measurement, and feel the freedom beyond proven science, beyond the to-do books, and feel how free it would be to think out of the box, to even think beyond formulas like Einstein. Imagine that you can morph time and space, that you could lift consciousness out of your body and travel around, see things, learn things, experience things. Imagine that you could talk to divine beings, angelic cohorts that could see a new way to do something that was 100 times more efficient and better. And that's just at the level of 600, going up the scale of potentiality for full omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence. So go up into 800, and your inner eye, look around. Now you have full synesthesia. You can smell, see, and taste and experience everything in a new way. You have super senses. The energy, the high vibration radiates out. Your eyes, your voice, your very presence has an eminence about it, illuminatory function, just due to physics. So you are in your own Christed reality in this vibrational realm. Going up the ladder, let's imagine you are now at 10. Let's say that equals 1000 hertz. Before we were actually talking about hertz, that was 800 hertz. And now you're at 1000 hertz. And you're letting go of any heaviness of thought, physicality. And you have a sense of levity, lightening up. And this is the first stage of enlightenment. To see things as the Creator sees them, with allowance, non-interference, but with the ability to recreate reality on the earth plane due to a little law, universal law that was put into place when earth was created. any soul that incarnates into a physical body can exert their will on earth. And that's you. And mankind has exerted his will to the extent of extinction. And now, as an evolutionary being, you are learning and know that you can go to these upper realms, hold a very high vibration, and exude that out and use your God-given human universal law will to help evolve this planet towards more light and love. And this is how we do it. We be the light. We access these higher levels of consciousness. So here you are at 1000 hertz, 1000 hertz. And you're able to access and see, and we haven't even gone into 10,000 hertz, into 1 million giga, blah, blah, blah hertz. You are a conscious particle that can go anywhere up the vibrational ladder. So to be most effective, and within the realm of the topic today, to be an evolutionary being, we ask and intend to still our minds. Our minds only go to 400. We allow ourselves to be present in our heart and to access and go up the ladder into the 800 hertz, into the 1000 hertz realm. And just breathe and be present. And what you can see here makes all the human solutions, issues, and problems, puts them on a plate where they are so easy for you to rearrange what is happening for better outcomes, even though you still are living as a human in this social milieu that is fear-based. That's a place of great power and responsibility, but you've earned it. You don't get to keep going up the ladder unless you're lighter. You shed the lower vibrations. The lower vibrations are like a cement cord around your foot and you can't go up. So you've passed many tests to have this ability to go up and to be a maestro, reorchestrator of density and reality, and to heal and to call out truth and to break whole systems by examining them and re-verbalizing them in the light of truth. So while we are here, while we are in this realm of expandedness in the 1000 hertz, take a nice deep breath, and it just feels so wonderful. Well, we're up here just for fun. I'm going to switch. This is where we're at, 1000 hertz, hovering over the earth plane. What do you want to do next? What is your evolutionary piece? The Queen's Caravan Spiritual Walkabout Tour. Someone already claimed that, me, but you can do it too. I did say Queens, plural. Come along with me, or start your own parade. Start your own healing center. Start your own church, and your body is the church. Your body and your works are the work for the Creator's will on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we don't judge ourselves or pick our passion based on anything outside of ourselves. That is your beautiful opportunity to keep finding more joy. It's a snowball. More joy. Manifest the wagon. Manifest the house. Manifest the support. And there it is. So you're creating the core of that snowball. You can always recreate another one if you don't like how it's working out. But what is the core of your snowball? What gives you great joy to imagine it and think about it? And maybe you're going to create your snowball a little later. But maybe getting ready for the creation of your snowball is giving you great joy. Whatever gives you joy and lights up your heart is the puzzle piece that God placed in you to wake up at the right time and become this snowball. So know that you can come back to this 1,000 hertz at any time. So we're going to go back down the ladder now. We're going to go back down the ladder. And here we are. And we're bringing back a new geometry of potentiality. And here it is behind me, the flower of life. See the wonderful little Merkaba? The Merkaba right here. You are residing in one of those. I'm residing in one of these. See how we all overlap? And this joy, this higher vibration energy, we're creating a new template, a new geometry template over the earth when we go into these higher states. And look at these colors. Look at what we are bringing and imprinting into this old social system of greed and heaviness and grayness and sadness and grief and loss and disease. We're bringing this. This is your puzzle piece right here. So take a deep breath, and we joyfully acknowledge this time, this historical time of Earth. We are here right now, and what we're going to create. And as it turns, because this is geometry, and this is a flat picture, but it's actually moving, fractalating, moving with all sorts of other inputs through the humans here with their consciousness and expansion, and also interplanetary sources. This is a highly orchestrated thing. Next week, we're going to talk about some of the changes that we can expect and will realize and see and experience with our own physical bodies as this evolution really kicks in to the level where it's changing the physicality on a noticeable level for mankind. So that will be next week. So now we just went into a higher state of vibration. Hold that state. Put a beautiful golden resilient egg around your entire physical body. And I'm going to sign off, and we can have a little discussion, community discussion here with people physically present. I am Jan Jorgensen. My website for contact or whatever is soundandlighthealingarts.com. We do these Be the Light meditations every Wednesday morning to help keep us shipshape, moving forward to be the evolutionary being of change that we truly are. Thank you for joining me.